telling the truth on air when it comes to their intent, their plans, their undemocratic nature. They are happy to let you know exactly what they're going to do. I want you to listen to this and then let's go ahead and take it on the other side.
That election will go down as the crime of the century, and our country is being destroyed by people who perhaps have no right to destroy it.
Now, his rambling speech was basically an afterthought. He's not in a position to pull the strings of attention like he was for so long. This was a Republican event in North Carolina, not an address from the Oval Office. The people he is to are hearing him, and they are hearing him because he is telling them what they want to hear. What is mobilizing them is an increasingly militant radicalization against pluralistic, multiracial American democracy as a collective project. The forces plotting its demise have been plotting in the open. It did not work in the state and federal courts following Election Day. It did not work on January 6th, but it was not for lack of effort. We are still learning the extent of that attempt. Before the election, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a dozen lawsuits to make voting in Texas as difficult as he could. This weekend, he told Steve Bannon the reason he stopped everyone in the largest county in Texas from automatically being sent a mail-in ballot in the midst of a once-in-a-century pandemic was that cutting off that voter access is what preserved the state for Donald Trump.
It was a concerted effort nationally with lots of money going into it. And just knowing that we had 12 losses that we had to win. And if we had lost one of them, like if we lost Harris County, Trump won by 620,000 votes in Texas. Harris County mail-in ballots that they wanted to send out were 2.5 million. Those were all illegal, and we were able to stop every one of them. Had we not done that, we would have been in the very same situation. We would have been on election night. I was watching election night, and I knew when I saw what was happening in these other states that that would have been Texas. We would have been in the same boat. We would have been one of those battleground states that they were counting votes in Harris County for 3 days, and Donald Trump would have lost the election.
If Harris County had ensured the safe voting of all of its citizens, then Donald Trump would have lost Texas. Ken Paxton is tipping his hand there. He's saying everything he did was about preserving Trump's victory in the state. He's saying the proverbial quiet part loud.
That is an utter shame. In effect, Donald Trump would have lost a lot of these states either by more or he would have lost it altogether had there not been the type of suppression and had they not been successful. In Texas, Harris County, where I actually reside, there was a great momentum in moving people who normally would not have voted into voting. These were all legal voters, and what they did was to prevent that from happening, and in that respect then preserving not only the win for Donald Trump, but for the win in the different congressional districts that were gerrymandered in such a manner that they could pull out a win in the several of these districts, which made sure that redistricting in Texas would be a gerrymandering, a Republican gerrymandering dominated session, which has potential effects on the extra 2 votes that we have in Congress. Now Texas, I think, is represented by 40 votes in Congress. What that means is it has the potential of tipping the scales of the Congress. Now, personally, I believe the angst of the American people. I believe that people are so enthralled with what has been happening thus far that they will be going out there and vote, that they will go ahead and make a huge turnaround this time. We cannot have this happening over and over again. We cannot allow the undemocratic nature of our Constitution, the undemocratic nature of many of the legislatures to have an effect. People still have that power to exceed, to supersede that which attempts to take their democracy away.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number 1, subscribe to our channel, and number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.